You guys have been telling me that you're getting a lot of value from critiquing people's sales process. So today, 3 more businesses, all wildly different. If you want yours critiqued, there's a link in the description. Starting off with Jack Cotterill. Very, very interesting. The sobriety scene, I think, could get very big. Already established with 10,000 followers on Instagram. First thing I'd look at, people always pin their highest performing posts, but when we look down here, we're probably averaging between 1 and 3, maybe 1 and 4,000 views per reel. I don't think this is enough because I think there's a growing amount of people that have a very poor relationship with alcohol, and I think most of them even know it. Those of us that have done drugs, we know that if we were to do a double-blind control study, cocaine, MDMA, magic mushrooms, LSD, and alcohol, if you'd never been told about any of those, you'd wake up and go, alcohol's the worst one, make that one illegal. So massive scene here. Now, I am blind, and you will have a better acoustic experience if I put these on.
Every time you drink, that could be a small amount or a big amount, your brain releases dopamine.
I think we need to maybe consider what you say first thing in every reel. That one wasn't, to me, a good enough hook. And again, this one, what's the best thing about being a sober musician? I don't think enough people care because that's about you, not this. I hate. If I don't know you, keep in mind, if I don't follow you, I don't like you. It's just simple facts. So everything we do in the beginning of a reel, although we want to cater to our audience, we also must appreciate that maybe the majority of people don't follow us. Never do that again, please. Thank you. And again, you've tried to get the caption to do the work instead of the reel. Not a fan. Again, don't like that. Like, you're on a moped, you're like, I'm going to film myself opening my mouth as a hook. What's the hardest thing about being a sober musician? Again, I don't care. And I'm saying this in the kindest way that I can. My life would be better sober. I barely drink, but I still go back to it. And when I do drink, I think, Jesus Christ, there's hell on earth. Why are these hooks about you and not about people that want to go sober? Because if you really care about helping people go on the same journey as you should be making the content about them. Yeah. So Instagram, I'm going to be harsh. I'm surprised you got 10,000 followers because these just aren't well thought out. Let me just make some up on the top of my mind. If you've been thinking about giving up alcohol, here are some strategies you can use to make it happen. Have you ever done a dry January before? And what did you learn doing it? Ask yourself what's the longest you've gone without alcohol. What is that period of time? And ask yourself, did your life get better or worse when you gave up alcohol? Here's another one. Don't you think it's crazy that when you try and improve your life by giving up alcohol, people seem to think you've lost your mind? Why is this? Then maybe even some studies that we could get into. So I could ask ChatGPT, can you cite any studies that giving up alcohol is good for your health? So for instance, here already, we're starting to get studies about different things. What if I was to tell you there's one thing you could give up that'll improve your mental health, reduce your risk of cancer, and reduce your chance of getting cardiovascular disease? And that thing is to stop drinking alcohol. I've been sober for 3 years, and in this video, I'm going to give you some tips. You know what I mean? Everything has to be about them. The hooks, everything. Now, annoyingly, I come through to your landing page. This video is a spectacular form of video sales letter because although it is your story, you're given a visual representation and you're showing us your journey. And every journey is a story. Every story is a journey. Why you've decided to use rock music and not a voiceover, I will never understand. You've done so well with this visual, but instead, couldn't it be your voice? 3 years ago, I was struggling in life, didn't know what was next, and I was drinking myself to death. And then there was one thing I decided to do that made my life better forever. And it wasn't actually something I did, it was something that I stopped doing. With this alcohol-free clarity reset, you can, etc., etc. See, there's so much amazing stuff here. I just think this needs to be tidied up a bit. Now, this sounds interesting. The 7-day alcohol-free clarity reset, $37. Now, when people say special offer, regular price $260, we know that's not true. We just know it's not true. It's like when people go, oh, here's a free recipe book, original price $199. You're like, no one's ever paid $199 for a recipe book. Now, if you're going to reduce something by 90% off, you might as well just make this free. You might as well have a free resource that people can use to get them into your ecosystem. Some of these visuals are fantastic, and I'm very happy for your personal journey. And I'm sure there are so many of these that you can market. It's great. But here's where I see your big opportunity. 84 subscribers on YouTube. I think this is the place that you want to go. So the biggest concern I see here with your packaging, how I found Ultimate Wealth, my sober transformation, fat 25-year-old alcoholic. Again, we need to make these about the other people. Alcohol destroyed my hopes. So this could easily be turned around. Is alcohol destroying your dreams? What to learn from my 6 years sober? I think some of the best things you can look for. So I don't actually like the packaging on these two. How to get sober on your own in 30 days. This title is far too long. Don't need to have hashtags in it. How I got sober after 15 years. But this advert here is actually quite interesting. I like the title, Stop Drinking From Home. I think that's the title. Let me cook. Oh, this is a good, it's going to be perfect. So we're going to take that picture, pop it in here. And again, real simple thumbnail. This is your next video. Maybe just some words on here that just say stop. Again, I love a clean thumbnail at the moment. Now that is a bit jarring. So what we're going to do is probably just add a bit of an outer glow. Oh, that's way too much, mate. First of all, let's make this dark. And maybe we just increase the spread of that a tiny bit. Maybe even a bit smaller, you know. Let's give this a go. Then we go to trusted thumbsup.tv. Let's have a look. Stop drinking from home. Something like that. Just a beautiful, and the reason we're saying this is these guys would have tested this thumbnail if they're doing a paid ad. Even another one, how to commit to a path of sobriety. Let's have a look what that looks like. So that's idea one. That's another one. That's the packaging. Then you could just riff, but when you start talking in your video, just make sure you address them. So you've got your own struggles, but instead of going, I was fat, I was deflated, I was depressed, I didn't know where to go next, I thought my life was going to end, I was definitely addicted. You would start and say, are you overweight? Are you feeling depressed? Have you got low mood? Are you aware that your relationship with alcohol is ruining your life and you're anxious that maybe if you don't get on top of this, that your life could be ruined forever? Well, I've been sober for 6 years and there are 8 pillars that are imperative for you to understand if you're going to start your own journey of sobriety. And in this video, we're going to cover them off. And then you get a lot of time in front of people. Oh, this is a good one as well. How to stay sober for good. They're all here. How to stay sober for good. Wow. This is just some unbelievable packaging. You could have this for free, mate. Have it for free, Jack. Yeah, 100%. Really work on the things that you're going to talk about. And again, if you're someone that's looking to go sober, if you want to stop snorting cocaine, give up alcohol. When was the last time you snorted cocaine without drinking? Exactly. Every single one of us never orders a bag of cocaine until we're 3 beers deep. So is the problem the cocaine or the 3 beers? Well, in my experience, the second they gave up alcohol, etc. Jack, I wish you well. Okay, next one I came across was Forge Barbell. Now, is this a person or is this a team? Because I'm not going to connect with Forge Barbell. Forge Barbell can be the business. But who is Forge Barbell? So when I see the Jiu-Jitsu Strength Company, I get excited. One, because I do Jiu-Jitsu, and I think that S&C generally is just undervalued. Now, I'm not sure about this black and white theme. Looks a bit Schindler's Listy for my liking. Now, someone who is crushing it at the moment, Charles Allen Price. Amazing. Look at this. I help BJJ athletes and enthusiasts perform their best on and off the mats. Amazing. Podcast, train with me. Now, if we look at some of his reels, some of these are getting amazing views. Like, look at that. Average maybe 30 or 40,000 views. 500 views on that.
This is a video of someone trying to demonstrate that by performing exercises that...
Okay, I just want us to appreciate how great the first 3 seconds of this is.
This is a video of someone trying to demonstrate that by performing exercises that look like jiu-jitsu is going to improve your capacity to do those techniques at the sport itself. This is not how...
So the hook was about 7 seconds. He's initially said, we are looking at people creating exercises that are like jiu-jitsu. So we want to... Should I be doing this? Is this right? Am I wasting my time? Let's look.
It works. Jiu-jitsu is a sport that's heavily reliant on skill acquisition and general strength capacities. If you are someone who's looking to get stronger for jiu-jitsu, the best way you're going to do that is by building a strong foundation through fundamental movement patterns like squatting, hinging, pushing, pull.
Fantastic.
This is a clip of Olympic caliber Russian wrestlers. The reason why I love this clip is because a lot of people seem to think that all they did was wrestle and not do any strength training, which is absolutely not the case.
So Charles is here every day turning up, breaking down common misconceptions. And every video that I watch, I'm thinking, wow, I'm learning and bolstering to my knowledge of jiu-jitsu. And that over time, there's only going to be a certain amount of these that I can take before I say, take my money, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Whereas when I'm on your Instagram, cool. I'm just watching you bench in black and white. And that black and white don't work, bro. Cool. You got some love from Through Dark. Cool. 200 kg. Like, this is impressive, brother. This is really impressive. But let me just throw something at you. I don't care. And safety squat bar. Why is this beneficial for grappling? Why is this beneficial for jiu-jitsu? Help me understand. Cool. I'm not sold. Where I'm on Charles's page, I'm learning, I'm developing everything. I'm building nuance. I then see people doing stuff with certain stuff. I'm like, that's stupid because Charles taught me. Online strength conditioning for jiu-jitsu athletes and hobbyists. Now, I don't mind this page. Although about plans, apparel, contact, we're not there yet. I like this strength conditioning for grapplers, our mission. Someone needs to be front and center of this brand. Whoever it is, you need a Charles or a person in there where you're like, we built this community to make sure that every time you grapple with someone, they go home and when they're sleeping with their missus, they're just thinking about your grip strength or wondering how you got so hench or so strong or how you worked that Sumogeshi from Butterfly Guard. I'm not seeing enough on the front end to make me feel like I need to give you my money. I'm just not. And I think I can and I will. Who is Forge Barbell? I don't know. There's no identity. With Charles, I know who it is. He's tapped me loads of times in training. He's training in one of the most competitive rooms in the world. He's putting out content on a daily basis. This guy also is doing something not enough of us are really thinking about. There is a new way of getting people to become clients. And the simplest way to do it is, out of 100 people in your audience, help 98% for free. That's it. And Charles here could go to a competition and 98 people fist bump him and go, mate, your content is changing my life. Never bought your program. but your content's changing my life. Cheers, bruv. Spud. Because Charles knows that if he can help 98 people out of 100 without them paying him, 2 people are going to come along and they're just going to get their wallet out and just say, coach me, bro. And the thing about Charles is, let's have a look. How much actually look at this? Train me 1-to-1, join the Matt Strong program. Perfect. You were doing so well. You were doing so well. Type form. Charles, brother, why? Why are you hitting me with a type form? Okay, all right. Matt Strong strength conditioning, $29 a month. Awesome. I like this. I like this. I would love a landing page, Charles, but I shall forgive you for now. Okay, so we'll move on from Forge. Now this one, interesting. Open space concepts, home improvement. I'm stepping out my lane. Now, I did go to your website. Now, I'm looking at this stuff, and this is beautiful, mate. Awnings, glass rooms, Louvre pod, glass verandas. As someone who owns a home, basically what they don't tell you when you move into a home, first of all, you become obsessed with the local market. You're always looking at houses. I'm chatting to my missus' mum. I'm like, Dana, you seen that house down the road? Went for 3 mil. Who's paying 3 mil for that? Then you're like, oh, you never guess what's come up on Fig Tree Street. No, not the big house with the big house with the veranda. It's up. You turn into a little gossiping neighbour. Oh, seen that fence they put up around the corner? Don't think they applied to the council for permission for that one. Anyway, this stuff excites me. Now, by the looks of it, every person is aspiring for you to come round and do this kind of stuff to them. Get a free quote, love it. View case studies, love it. Website, I love it. But on the Instagram, there's one thing that I feel we're missing. And let's go through some of this. Looks lovely.
Friday, everybody. Danny Open Space Concepts. Now I've left this week's Friday.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Can anyone guess what we're missing?
1, 2, 3, oh.
So this looks amazing. This looks amazing, mate. What a wonderful house. What a lovely glass room. But you know what we haven't got? What it looked like before. Going to teach you a very simple thing that I teach in my mentorship. Links in the description if you want to work with me. If you see me in a bar and I'm wearing a gold Rolex and you don't know who I am, you're going to think I'm a fucking piece of shit bellend. You go, look at this twat, gold Rolex, look at him. But if someone was to say, oh, that guy over there used to be a personal trainer working in a budget gym in Bracknell over the last 7 years, he managed to make something of himself. Now, whatever, philanthropist, whatever you want to call it. You go, oh, actually, maybe that guy's all right. It wasn't me that changed. It wasn't the Rolex that changed. It was a story with it. So stories are very, very important. If you show off really nice houses, people are going to go, oh, rich people, wankers. But if you show what it was before and then the effort and the workmanship that went into it, you're going to draw people in. Now, let's look into this. If you want to know the best stories ever,
I just bought
Matt Armstrong.
my all-time dream.
So we're showing the before crash damage GT3 RS. And remember, the reason I didn't get the GT3 RS was because there wasn't enough storage, not that I couldn't afford it. But then as we go through, we're watching the car bit by bit be transformed. This is what people want to see. That's actually what all of this is transformations. Now, if we go to his Mark II channel, you can look at some of his full builds. GT3.
I just bought this wrecked Nissan GTR, which we think
GT3, GTR, cool. And through time, we get to see the transformation. And what people are waiting for is to see the finished results.
this is it. The past 7 days
The dramatic music, everything.
have led up to this moment. Anything under 11 seconds is a
So we need to see something transformative. What else is there that's transformative? Oh my God. The other thing people can't get enough of is the Outdoor Boys. Because let's have a look at his most popular video. Where's the one I watched the other day? This one, right? Dugout shelter under 10 foot, 3 meters of snow, 72 million views, 1.3 thousand views per hour. And this is the most beautiful part, right? He starts with nothing. He starts digging. And what does he get by the end of it?
Lowest point in the shelter. The snow
Humans
is about 5 feet wide.
are so drawn to watching people build stuff. And what they want, and the reason that people wait the whole way through this, is so they can watch and see the finished product. So if this guy was to start the video, if he just starts the video in here, it's not that interesting. It's just a guy, you know, sat in a fucking igloo. But the fact that he takes us on a story, the fact that he starts with nothing and he builds it, that's the reason that you retain people. Then at the end he goes home. Everything amazing on YouTube is some kind of story. Even here, this guy, professional cleaning a car. Right? Again, the car's filthy. If he just shows a clean car, no one cares. But the reason that 93,000 people have watched is because this is a story. They're watching all the products get put on. They're getting to learn about the snow foam and how it's making the car cleaner. Story, story, story. Everything is a story. Everything on Netflix is a story. Adolescence on Netflix is a story. So going back to your point. So at the moment, we're not showing stories, we're just showing endings. And the thing that people really want to aspire to is a before and after. And that's the thing that I think is missing from this. And I think if you start showing people before and after, we can do something called a preview hook. So if in the first few seconds we get a flash of before, after, then we can go back to the beginning. So for instance, let's have a look at a back garden with absolutely no warning, looking a bit dirty, whatever, before the build starts. Then suddenly, scene change, an amazing outdoor monument And then just as you're about to pay off what's been built, it could be like 3 months earlier. And then you could just do a little time lapse of all the stuff being built, because then you're showing something that people want themselves, because they maybe don't want the end result. They want to see what it takes to get there, because by showing just amazing gardens, people can't relate. But if you can show messy, poor back gardens with poor architecture and show really poor befores, people can relate to that, and then they can want to go on the journey with you. And I think that's just going to get you way more eyes on. Then all of your projects turn into little marketing projects as well, which you can always repost and put in other places. And I think you can go super viral by showing people, because you've done the hard part, right? Your products look amazing. The stuff you do looks amazing. You've done the hard part. The easy part is just showcasing before and after. And there's no way that people around the world aren't going to want to see this. What did I watch? Time-lapse renovation. These go off, mate. They go off. Look at this. Mate, people are addicted to watching this stuff. Granted, slightly different niche, but I just guarantee that people... I think I watched this one the other day. I was mesmerised. Tay's like, we're going for dinner. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm watching people renovate stuff. Now, I'm not saying you have to go quite as far as this, but it's a story. I saw another mega viral one the other day. Okay, so look at this one here. I turned a school bus into a luxury home. This is a story. Beginning of the story, they show, I think, a glimpse of how it looks after than what it was before. Now they're showing some of the process of it happening as a preview hook to get people to retain. It's a 26-minute video. Then we start off with nothing, like their back gardens, and we end up paying them off. So my question is for you, Open Space Concepts, if we just showed that converted bus, would it have got 27 million views? Absolutely not. Why? Because it lacks the story. If you could start showing story in your concepts, I think you'd do a lot better. And if you are the main character of this business, maybe you should be here. So then I think this should be Danny Open Space Concepts. Danny at Open Space Concepts. I think this could even be your name, and then your business could be underneath, however you want to do it. But Danny, I think you need to start showing more stories, more transformations, and I think it's going to revolutionize the amount of people that come to your business from social media. Here's a quick one as well. You need to post on TikTok more. People will love and froth over this shit on TikTok. Cool. That's about it. If you want to work with me, links in the descriptions. If not, all good. If you want to apply for this yourself, there's also that link in the description. Bye-bye.